Hello, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, July 17th, 2023. Here for my weekly cross-stitching update. Smokey is here with me, but she decided to sit like directly behind me, so you can't see her. And there she is. Yeah, so let's share what I have going on this week. First, I have a few things that I've got this week. One is a package from the Fat Quarter Shop, so I thought I'd share that real quick. Several cross-stitching things. There's another stitch card set with set Q. This one is like fashion stuff. I like this one too, that's fun. And another chicken club. This is Prudence. There's, let's see, and June Stackables is one of their more recent ones in that series. Then the quilting stuff they have is pretty nice. This is a seasonal Stitchy Stars, and they have basically looks like table runners in different colorways for the different seasons. So it's kind of fun. They give you suggestions on the back. I like the spring one the best, I think. Those colors are my favorite. And then some more foundation paper, and these are actually kind of cute. So I may actually try these at some point. They make these sunbursts. I guess you make one like this and then put them all together to make the sunburst. So that's kind of cool. There's two different sizes. So I might have to try that sometime. And then some things I picked up personally. I have been watching this for a while, and my husband noticed it had come down in price. So I got this on Amazon. This is Just Cross Stitch 1991 to 2000. And I forget why. I think maybe when I was looking at what's on here, I liked some of them. So I'll have to look into this and copy them down. At first, I was like, well, I don't think I'll get that because none of our computers have a DVD player to read the disc. And then my husband reminded me we have a portable one that we can hook up. So I'll have to do that and get stuff off of there and see if there's any gems. But I thought there were going to be some fun ones in there. And what else did I get? Oh yeah, so I ordered some beads for my Christmas elf fairy. And while I was at it, I ordered Zucca by Alexandra Adelaide Needleworks, and this is one that I want to do in all beads because there's two colors. It's a lot larger than would be ideal because you need a lot of beads, and it's gonna be hard to count them all up to see how many I need, but the pumpkin part itself is symmetrical, so I could at least count this far and times it by 2 to see how many beads I need. I picked up a couple at Joann's because they were on sale, and I love the colors, but I think they're going to be too big. So I was going to check. I have some fabric I picked up at the retreat that I'm already using for a Halloween piece. And I could use that for this. It would fit the design. I just don't know if these beads would fit. So if I like that fabric, I might need smaller beads. And if I like these beads, I'll need bigger fabric. So these beads were like 40% off. So each bag was like $1 something. So it'd be nice if I could go that route, but I might need to get like something larger. So I might wait a little bit to kind of finish kitting that one up to see what I can figure out. And I'll probably do some test stitching or beading to see what I like the looks of. Because a lot of them are going to need to be close together. So I was doing some beading on Christmas Elf Fairy this week with the petite beads, and they almost seem too small, but they do fit real nice when they're right next to each other, whereas the regular size beads on that, which is a 32/2, do seem too big. So I don't know. I'll have to do some trial and error and play around with that a little bit. If any of you have done that pattern with beads, what fabric did you use? Did you use a 28 count over 2? Did you use 30? The one I have is a 32 and it's hand dyed, so it's probably should have petite beads if I use that fabric. Anyways, I think that's all I got this week. Oh yeah, I got a length of bamboo floss as well for my fairy at my local needlepoint shop. So I can't really show it. I've already put it on the bobbin, and it's not very exciting. But yeah, so I got that, and yeah, let's get started showing what I am working on. Oh, there she is. Doing a little grooming. So travel stitching, here's my temperature Quaker. Moving along on this one. This is July's right here. It's a smaller one, which is kind of nice. Today I got, or this week, yesterday, I got all of the pieces section stitched while in the car, which had been a little while since I managed to do that. I didn't need to do any at home afterwards. So this is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim. It's getting warmer. I think it's officially summer in Southern California. So this flower circle area is what I did for the most part, and it did get warmer into the high 90s, and that's 103 there is the next one. So this circle I think will be mostly pinks and oranges. It's supposed to be warm all week, either high 90s, low 100s, so we're here. There's it's good to get to those colors, but I still haven't hit the top 2 colors, so those would be fun to hit a little bit just for the sake of the color, but we don't need to go there too much. So I did not, maybe I did. Did I do some? I think I did a little bit on Sophie Squirrel. Oh yes, I did. We, yeah, I did some. So here is Sophie Squirrel, my advent animal that I'm working on right now for WhipGo. These are 18 count Aida, 2/1, full cross, all the called for DMCs. And I did discover I had the top of this darker part of the tail matched the top of her head quite a bit, and that's because it was the same color. And it shouldn't have been. So I noticed the bottom half of the tail, which is a separate strand, once I got in the certain light at this park, I realized when my kids were playing, it's 2 different colors. So those colors were very similar, and apparently I'm thinking maybe the strands got mixed up on my card perhaps, but I frogged the top thread and I'm restitching that now. But I also did some more of the, other shades in her body as well. So that's what I got done. Not a whole lot, but that's the way it goes in the summertime. I did a little bit on my Frosted Pumpkin Castle Homecoming Club. I still have not printed out the updated copy, but this is part 1. I'm still working on part 1. So here is this one, 28 count light blue even weave, 1/1 full cross. And I did, I think, the pink all around and like the unicorns snout and feet and the banner and a little bit in the, what's her name? The herald's clothes and the shield. So all that pink. Did I do anything else? There's I think one orange thing from last time as well. Slowly but surely, this is not coming along very quickly, but it's cute to get out. I probably shouldn't have started it, but it's the castle theme. I kind of had to. So there's that one. Let's see. My main stitching on Monday was my Simpsons piece, and I actually did a decent amount. I was a little discouraged about this project going into this week, but once I worked on it, I just went back to my normal typewriter method of choosing symbols, and the symbols I picked were in the edge here of the paper. So they ended up being in lots of outline areas, which kind of helped make it make everything stand out a little bit more and you get a little bit more sense of the picture, and it was good. It was helpful to get some of those colors done. I did 262 half stitches, and here this is now. 1/1 half cross on 40 count vertical, and yeah, so there's more up here, and even, you know, you can see some of these lines down here have been filled in too. So that's fun. And I think her face got some more crispness, and oh, and her beads in her necklace, because some of those colors helped outline those things a little bit better. So pretty nice. I'll keep plugging away at this one. I just will not look forward to the whites in the paper edging that they're popping out of. That's like my least favorite part of that one. The rest of it is kind of fun. She's sleeping. Letter E Fairy. I worked on this on Tuesday for my niece. And I don't think I did any beads. I only did one length of floss, so I didn't get very much done on this one, sadly. I think that was a busy day. But something is better than nothing. So here is this one on the called for 32 count Water Lily Linen by Witchelt, 2/2 full cross with my own color choices. And I don't think I had done this before, but I backstitched her dress front right here and did a length of this color in the border, which is not the whole thing. I think it's just this corner and then maybe down here like this, I think is how it was. Yeah. So that's that one. I'll keep working on that on Tuesdays and hopefully get a little bit more time on it this week to make some better progress. I want to start putting some beads into them. More beads, that would be fun. Does this? Yeah, I don't think it has any beads yet. I did beads on another one. Christmas Elf Fairy coming up now. That was my problem too. Thursday I had 0 stitching whatsoever, which is very sad. And probably the first time this year that I haven't done anything. Not even travel stitching. I was trying to finish up reading for a book club, and then I had the book club, and then we talked a lot afterwards, and just no time. So this got only 3 days instead of 4, which was kind of sad, but I made some progress. This, using my own colors, some of them are called for that I had in my stash, and then the reds especially, the reds, the greens, and the yellow, her hair colors, those are all me, and then I think the blacks and grays are called for, and I think the outside edge of her wings is also called for. I just happen to have those ones, but everything else, like the white and the reds, those are mine. So here is this one on 32 count raw silver Belfast linen, 2/2 full cross. Lots of white. My first skein got me to about here, which was sad because I was hoping to get like down to here. I'm not familiar with thread usage on 2/2 type, like 16, 14 count stitches, because I'm so used to tiny stuff. And one length of thread will go a really long way on the tiny stuff, but not on this bigger stuff. So I saved out one 2-stranded length, got the new skein, and then for 2 lengths of thread, blended 1 length of the old skein and 1 length of the new skein for those 2 lengths. And I don't think I've actually started the 2 strands of the new skein. That'll go down here. But that'll help kind of ease the transition in case there's any subtle dye lot issues, but I think it's fine. I did more red on her dress too, and then I started in on some beads. So I did the beads all around the tree. The tree is done now. Did the beads in her collar, that's done now, and in her hair. And a little bit, I started these ones, there's more up here, but I started those. Oh, and I backstitched a little bit up here. So, yep, overall some nice progress for 3 days. Still a lot more to go, but I am gonna keep doing this. A lot of you weighed in and definitely were cheering me on to keep going and try to get this done in July. So that's what I'm gonna do because I think it's nice right now to get things done, and I'm gonna ride that wave all year, I think, because I think I've gotten to the saturation point where I just want to whip down, and there's only one way to do that, and that's to focus on projects to get them finished. Little bits here and there all along the way is never gonna get anything done. So I have to be serious about it for a little while, and then I can go. I'd like to get to the point where I can have a rotation where I do like 1,000 stitches on a full coverage, switch to a non-full coverage where I spend either 5 days, meet a goal, or if I'm close enough and really enjoying it, just finish it depending on the piece. Some of them are too big for that, but and then move on to another full coverage for another 1,000 stitches and just kind of go back and forth. However long each rotation takes me, and not have it be so regimented, just to be able to 1,000 stitches on some projects could take like 3 days or 10 days, you know, like, I don't know, depending on the project, but and my life at the time. But I feel like that'll give me more flexibility, and I've been wanting a rotation like that for a while, but some of these littler ones are just kind of nagging at me to get done, and I like them, but I want to get them off my plate. So I'm just going to focus on finishes the rest of the year, I think. A little bit more to share, but then I'll go into more plans at the end for the rest, like this coming week, and then a little bit of my thoughts on Arbitrary August. So Friday, I stitched on 3 things. I stitched on my Castle Homecoming in the afternoon while I talked with my sister. I stitched on Christmas Elf Fairy for regular stitching in the evening, and then I was finally able to talk with Desiree, the Topsy Turvy crafter. It'd been a long time since we had time to talk, so it was so nice. And we decided this will be our new buddy stitch, Mini Butterfly Rose Cross by Bridget Ashwood, Heaven and Earth Designs. We finished His Name is Jesus a little while back, and we were working on Flea Market Flowers in the interim. But she really wanted to work on a faith-based piece together, and so this is one I already have started. She had, I think, maybe started it, but then wanted to restart it on some pretty fabric instead of stitching the outline, the background. So, which I'm also doing, I'm taking the background out. So she finally got her fabric in the gap when we hadn't had time to talk. So we decided, so she started hers, and I put in 102, I think, stitches. While we were talking, I think I got to like 87 or something, but afterwards I went ahead and finished my string and got up over that 100 mark, because that's kind of like the minimum I'd like to work on something in a sitting, so, or in a rotation. So here's this one. This is a hand-dyed fabric by Hand Dyeing Duo on Instagram, and it's 28 count 1/1 full cross. And I think I did typewriter picking my symbols. Some of these turned out to be some pinks here in the middle that are like part of some rosebuds. Some of them came all the way down here. I did a little bit more in the butterfly too, but really just little bits here and there. A lot of confetti. But this is already the center. I hadn't realized that because she started in the center. I think these stitches are close to the center. So she started right around here. There's a butterfly in there. It's not a very big piece. It's gonna be pretty small. So that's pretty fun. So I'll work on that every couple weeks when we talk, and more, both of us we're allowed to work on it more as we see fit, but we'll work on it together at the very least. So, then Sunday I did summer montage for my seasonal stitching. Really enjoyed getting this out. That was kind of a nice break from the Elf Fairy. That's spring. Summer montage is the one I'm doing. There we go. So this is by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. And I got some of the rose started, which is fun. And I wish it were a pink rose. It's more of a peach rose, but that's okay. it's still pretty. And it's fun to do something other than green. So I did 364 stitches yesterday. This is where I got to. This is 28 count mushroom Lugana 1/1 full cross. And again, I had this color just kept going into the border, but right here I believe is the edge of this rose. So I'm gonna focus on this. If something just needs to extend beyond, I will do it. But for the most part, I'm gonna keep my stitches within this first little section on the chart until it's done, and then I'll move on to the next one. So that's pretty fun. I've been enjoying that. I did a little bit over here, but I am picking symbols typewriter style. So I finished another block, I think. And right in here, these colors started to fill in the top of the rose. And a little bit over here as well. Some of this came down, if you can see, but that's fun. It was fun to pull out a full coverage again because I'm spending a lot of time on other things right now with this elf fairy and the letter E fairy, Sophie squirrel, all this kind of stuff. So it was nice to pull that out, work in Pattern Keeper, which is always fun. This week, I'll do a lot of the same because I'm not gonna finish the Christmas elf fairy that quickly. So I'm gonna push my Magic of Christmas and Harmony full coverage and full coverage no background pieces to be maybes at the end of the month if I still have time. If I finish Christmas elf fairy, I will work on I'll work on those later. But for now, I'm gonna focus on getting this finished, and I'm happy with that choice. So we'll keep plugging away at that. But today will be a family Monday, so I'll work on mini bear time stories one more time, just today. Then tomorrow I'll do my letter E fairy for my niece, and then spend the rest of the week on Christmas elf fairy and summer montage on Sunday. So that's kind of the plan, what you can expect. This is by Randall Spangler. It's super cute. And I'm doing it on, again, on 40 count vertical, like the Simpsons pieces. 1/1 half cross. This is extreme cross country. I'm working in the dark burgundy everywhere, and then I'll go back and do smallest to biggest stitch count to like knock off the colors at the bottom. That's kind of my plan at this point. It's changed off and on. I've kind of have extreme cross country, and then I'll do like a challenge in a group, and I'll do the cookie, I'll do the marbles, or I'll do the dragons, you know. So I'll kind of, some of those colors have been, sections have been filled in a little bit more, not color completed, but it's fun. Right now I am enjoying filling in, I think I'm over here with my string, filling in the dark burgundy, which is the most used color in the chart, 814 I think. And that's been fun, and that will give it a lot more structure to then sort the colors by how many stitches are left and kind of just start ticking them off at the top. And I think that'll be fun. I did that with the Cupcake Dreams, and that's a lot of fun. So I'll work on that a little bit today. And going forward, my thoughts for August. I know I started arbitrary August, but I'm not going to do it this year. I felt last year I wasn't quite sure I wanted to do it, but I ended up doing it anyways. And this year I was looking forward to doing it, but now I don't think I am. So it's the way it goes. But I want to focus more on finishing things. So I'll share the starts of things as we get closer to August. Maybe on the 31st, I guess. That will be a good time to kind of lay out my plans. But I'll talk through them now. My thoughts at this point, anyways, subject to change. But I'll still probably work on my letter fairy, because that's a priority, on probably Mondays. And then the rest of the week, I'll work on pieces I want to finish, starting with Flowers Within a Flower back from January, and maybe I'll put a picture in if I can find one. That's one that's kind of been nagging at me that is still not done. It was a carryover from the year before, and move forward because there's a lot going on in that piece and it took longer to finish than I kind of hoped it would. But I don't want to carry it forward again. I want it done. I want it gone. All the other things I had slated to finish this year, so far I have. So assuming I can get this letter, Christmas Elf Fairy done, that'll be another one gone, except for Cupcake Dreams, which is a lot more in general. I'd be happy if that one gets done next year because there is a lot to that one. And I made great progress this year. But all the other ones, Winter Wonderland Band Sampler, Spring Roundels, and High Hopes, I finished. Flowers Within a Flower is like the stain on my record. I want to get it done. So that will be a high priority in August. When that's finished, I'll work on Flea Market Flowers because that one I had a slot working on it with my sister, on my call with my sister, and the Frosted Pumpkin one took its spot. But I really want to get that one done. So Flea Market Flowers will come in after as priority number 2 in August to be finished. Priority number 3, Dragon Ride for my son. I think that's the family piece that's the closest to a potential finish. I won't have any expectations of finishing in August, but I want to give it a lot of time. It would be fantastic stretch goal to finish it this calendar year. Again, I don't know if that's possible because it's a Turvy Once. There's a lot going on in there. There's a lot left. The lot has been done, but there's still a lot more to do. So, but if I give it whatever time left in August I have, would be fantastic to get that pushed forward. Then next year I'll have fewer. Next year I think I'll focus on Visit Endor to try to get that one done for my other son, and that would be good. And then I'll just have Simpsons and Bear Time Stories remaining, which will be great. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking for August, to just kind of try to chip away at those ones that I want done and just give them time because that's what they need. They just need time. So that's kind of my plan for that one. So hopefully you guys are on board with that. It won't be quite as enjoyable as switching all the time, but at this point I'm really not in the headspace to pick random projects and work on them for a short amount of time. I don't want to do that right now. So I'm not going to. And I hope you guys feel the freedom to stitch however you're feeling like right now, whether that be monogamously or stitching all the things, starting all the things, finishing all the things, not stitching at all. Like, that's okay too. Sometimes in the summer there's just a lot going on. People do gardening and vacations and whatnot, and it's okay to take a time off or to do other crafts. So it's fun, it's a hobby, and I hope that we all feel the freedom to relax and just enjoy it and make it change it as we see fit. So I know I like to plan. It's fun for me. I like the goals, but I don't want to get stuck in the plan so much that it's not fun anymore. So I want to try to chip away at these, get some knocked off, and then be able to hopefully next year have more of a fluid rotation and just kind of alternate between types of projects and probably get stuck with all the large projects. And that's kind of what I want. I want just to kind of go back and forth between large projects that have no hope of finishing anytime soon, and just kind of enjoy them and put them away and go to the next one and enjoy it and go to the next one and enjoy it, rather than feeling the pressure of this one should be done by now, you know? So I kind of, I want to tick off as many of those as I can. And I think I have a good shot at doing that for a lot of them. So that's great. One last look at Smokey. Totally enjoying her nap there. Yeah. All right. I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful week and happy stitching. Bye.